Hello friends, welcome to the session on 8051 microcontroller unit. In this session, we'll be discussing about assembly language programs for the microcontroller unit 8051. In this session, we will see how to write assembly language program for the microcontroller unit, and we will see some simple examples of writing programs for 8051 microcontroller unit. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, and do subscribe to the channel so that you can study by sitting at your home only. You can watch various subjects or various topics in the subjects of electronics and computer science on my YouTube channel. So let us start the session with the question, what we mean by assembly language program for the microcontroller unit 8051. Now we know that 8051 has lot many instructions, and these instructions can be classified into different categories such as data transfer instruction, arithmetic instruction, logical instruction, branching instruction, subroutine instruction, and bit manipulation instruction. In our earlier sessions, we have already seen these different types of instructions, and we have seen them what is the syntax of writing these instructions. Now in this session, we will go for writing the complete assembly language program for a specific task. Assembly language program will consist of a sequence of statements, and these sequence of statements are written to perform a specific task. So these statements will tell the microcontroller to perform the desired operation. 8051 assembly language program will consist of two sections. The first section is being called as assembly language program, and the second section is being called as an assembler. So assembler has certain directives, and these assembler directives will instruct the assembler on how to process the subsequent assembly language instructions. So there are several directives available, and we can make the use of these assembler directives within our assembly language program. So as far as the instructions are concerned in the assembly language program, the instructions can be written in this format. You need to write down the label if there is some label to the instruction, followed by colon, then opcode, then operand, and then with semicolon, you can write some comment. So label, you can say it's a kind of a symbolic address of the instruction, and labels are useful whenever we want to jump from one instruction to another instruction. Opcode is a symbolic representation of the operation. So we can make the use of English words in the opcode, such as move, add, subtract. So such type of the English words that are that can be used for written instructions can be used as an opcode. Operand, it will specify where the action is to be performed. For example, when we write move a, 40, then the data 40 hexadecimal will be copied into the accumulator. Comments are written because comments will tell us what is the purpose of the instruction. So comments will begin with semicolon, and comments will not generate any machine code. But comments are useful because whenever we read any assembly language program, then the comments will tell us what is the purpose of each and every instruction written in the assembly language program. Now let us go for the discussion of the assembler directives. Assembler directives are just like the instructions in the assembly language program, but they tell the assembler to do something other than creating the machine code. So assembler directives will actually ask the assembler to process the subsequent assembly language instruction. It will define the program constants, and also they are used to reserve space for the variables. So there are certain widely used assembler directives for the microcontroller unit 8051, and one of them is ORG or origin. This ORG directive is actually used to indicate the starting address. It is used only when the program counter needs to be changed. So whenever you want to change the content of the program counter, the starting address, then you can make the use of this directive. Say for example, when we write org2000h, then it will set the program counter to the memory location 2000. Another popular directive is the equal and set. Equal, EQ, and SET. These are the directives that are used to assign the numerical value or a register name to the specific symbol name. EQ is used to define a constant without storing the information into the memory. So whenever you want to define any constant value, then you can make the use of this directive. And SET is being used to assign a value to the variable, and it can be redefined at the later stage within the same program. So for example, you can set pointer to Rn. So R1 is being set as a pointer. You can set the counter EQ equal to R3. So R3 is being used as a counter, or you can set the variable n equal to 35 hexadecimal, or you can move R3 comma hash n, where the number is being stored in the register R3. Another directive that is being commonly used is the DB, and that is being called as a defined byte. So this directive is used to define the 8-bit data. The DB directive initializes the memory with the 8-bit value, and the number can be either a decimal number, hexadecimal number, or it can be a binary number, or even it can be in ASCII format. So whenever you want to describe the number as a decimal, then you can write D after the number, but it is an optional thing. So if you do not write anything, then that is being treated as a decimal number. But for binary, you have to write down B, and for hexadecimal, you need to write H to indicate that it is hexadecimal number. And whenever you want to write any ASCII format, then you need to enclose it in the single apostrophe marks. So for example, we can have in the assembly language program data1 colon db40h. So this data1 will hold the value of 40 hexadecimal. Data2 db0101100 binary, that is B. Then data3 db48, that is, it is decimal number. And then data4 db hello. So it is enclosed in the single apostrophe. Therefore, it will be ASCII format. Many times we write another directive in the assembly language program, and this directive is the end directive. Normally, it is written at the end of the assembly language program. So it will signal the end of the assembly module. It indicates the end of the program to the assembler. So any text in the assembly file that will appear after the end directive will be ignored by the assembler. So if the end is missing, then many times the assembler can generate the error message. So now let us go for discussion of some simple assembly language program. The first assembly language program is the addition of the two numbers. Suppose we want to write assembly language program for the addition of two numbers. So this is a simple program. So initially we will set the program counter to 0000 by using this directive org0000h. Then we will load the first number 50 into the accumulator by using this instruction move a comma hash 50h. Then we will add 51h into the accumulator by using the instruction add a comma hash 51h. So we are adding 50 and 51 together. Then we want to store the result. For storing of the result, we will move the content of the accumulator to the location 52h. So the least significant byte of the result will be stored in the location 52h. Then we will move into the accumulator 00 because we want to take care of any carry if it is generated. And therefore, we will make the use of the instruction add with carry a double DC a comma hash 00. so that the carry will get added into 00. And now this number will be stored into the location 53H by using the instruction move 53H, A. So the most significant byte of the result will be stored in the location 53. Now you can type this program by using any 8051 simulator. In the text editor window, you can write the program, and if it is correctly typed, then you can run it. And after the execution, one can easily observe that at the location 51 and 52 and 53, you will get the result as A1H and 00H. So we have added the two hexadecimal numbers 50 and 51, of which the result is 00A1H. Let us go for another simple assembly language program for the subtraction of two numbers. Now suppose we want to subtract the two numbers. So initially we will set the program counter to 0000 by using this instruction org0000. Then we will move the first number, move A #50 into the accumulator. Then we will clear the borrow flag by using this instruction CLRC. Then we will subtract from the content of A the number 21H. For this, we will use the instruction SUBB A, #21. And then we will move the result into the location 52H by using this instruction move 52H, A. Then we will load into the accumulator 00, and we will see if any borrow or carry is being generated. Then that will be added into the accumulator, and that most significant byte is being stored at the location 53H by using the instruction move 53H, A. So when you type this program by using any 8051 simulator app, and when you execute it, then after the execution, one can easily observe that you will get the result 52H is equal to 2FH and 53H is equal to 00H. Now let us discuss another program. Here we are making an addition of 16-bit numbers. So we are going to add two 16-bit numbers that are stored in the location 51 and 52H. This is the first number, and second number is stored in the location 55H and 56H. So initially we will set the program counter by using the instruction org0000. Then we will move the content of the memory location 51H into A by using this instruction move A, 51H. Then we will add the content of memory location 55 with the content of A by using this instruction add A, 55. Then we will save the least significant byte in the location 40 by using the instruction move 40, A. Then we will load the content of memory location 52 into A, and then we will add the content of 56 and carry flag into the content of A by using this instruction add C A, 56I. And then we will save the second byte of the result in the location 41H by using this instruction move 41H, A. Then we will load 00 into A, we will add the carry, and we will save the most significant byte of the result in the location 42 hexadecimal. So when you type this program by using any 8051 assembler or by using any 8051 simulator, and when you execute it, then you will find that you will get the result if 51H is equal to T0, 52H is equal to 01, and 55H is equal to 10, and 56H is equal to 02. Then after the execution, you will get the result 41H is equal to 30, and 42H is equal to 03. So thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood how to write assembly language program for the microcontroller unit 8051. Thank you all for viewing the session.